Alright, everyone, welcome to part 2 of my Adirondack dome car trip. Don't seem to have anyone around right now, but no big deal. I will get this going. Last week, you remember, this is from 2007. Amtrak was still in the process of trying to please its riders and would often offer surprise things like putting the Bud Great Dome on various trains in the fall. In this case, the Adirondack. In subsequent years, it was the Cardinal or the Downeaster. And then they were like, yeah, we don't want to do that anymore, and they sold it off to some scenic railroad. But back in 2007, I got on that jazz. It might have been even in conjunction with Columbus Day, but I'm not entirely sure. But I went up there with I went up with some friends, and for part one, had us going effectively from the stuff in mainly Albany and then Schenectady, and now we're going to be continuing on the and then some amount of the D&H main line. Now we're going to be continuing on the D&H main line up towards Saratoga Springs, and where so while the dome car was going all the way to Montreal, we were going to cross the border and overnight. So we just were going to go to the farthest point up as you could, which is Port Henry. Ooh, all right. So last we were still below Saratoga, and we were just about to hit the Saratoga terminal area. This is we're on the Canadian Pacific, formerly Delaware and Hudson, Canadian sub or CPC, and we're gonna be coming up on Saratoga, which would be, or below Saratoga, which would be CPC 35. Right here. I think I should have everything up, so I'll make sure I got everything going here. So there's your Saratoga. Wait, that's right, it's Glens Falls. Saratoga Springs right there. CPTC 33. 35 should be somewhere just south of town. Where's that? Oh, there it is. Just at the far end of the yard there. So this is even off the part that had been part of the Guilford Rail System freight main line. So this is on its own milepost, starting up from, seemed to have started like 20 or something. Yeah, I'm not sure what the chaining on this is. Probably, I don't know, Albany or something. Sorry, just checking this out. So on this, you have this is the rare part we have an intermediate interlocking, not just the sort of the south end of a siding, north end of a siding configuration. Oh, we got someone. There's Brian. Hey, Brian, how you doing? All right, now I'm going to go a little bit faster for you. I wanted to give you a little bit of time to show up. I didn't do a couple of my, like, is this test, is this going to save properly test. There it goes. This is intended as a fall foliage trip, so you will be seeing an amount of fall foliage, or foliage if you prefer. It looks like CP 3735. That's, at the time, CP was just filled with SD40-2s, especially on their D&H system. Ah, fuck. So, I said, unlike the other ones, Saratoga Springs has an intermediate. So you have this little yard south of town right there, so near the industrial park. If you keep going, there's a Y track, of course. See it all here in the alternate view. Saratoga Springs is definitely going to be probably the biggest city between Albany and Montreal. Oops. And just as you're getting close to the station, you have this intermediate signal, which is sort of it's a single trailing point crossover, or it basically allows, it's basically the southern end of the passenger terminal complex. I believe there was a time when Amtrak actually allowed, had a passenger train, sort of an Empire Service-y type train that would run to Saratoga Springs, but I haven't seen it in some time. Like an Empire service would run up to Saratoga Springs. I think that went away when the Ethan Allen service became a thing. So here we have this, by the way, even to this day, this one is still signaled with this uses the Unilenses searchlights, like you'd see on the intermediates. So this was not re-signaled when the rest of the line was. And here we're getting a medium approach medium. And this is CPC 36. Medium approach medium being red over yellow over green. It's like approach medium just down one, which makes it medium. Oh, here we have one. It's a little closer version of that. Saratoga Springs was also the southern terminus of the Saratoga North Creek. That was an Iowa Pacific short line that did a pretty good job until the Iowa Pacific ran out of money and went bankrupt. I rode it once. It was very nice. They had their own Great Dome on it. It had meals in it too, and were rather inexpensive. Very affordable meals. I did not get breakfast, but I got dinner. And my friend was like, "Man, we should have gotten breakfast on this." Or, nah, I don't think we got. Did we get breakfast? I can't remember if we got breakfast or not. Still very. The tickets. They had a lift ticket. It was a part of a ski package, and it was practically like $6 more than just the lift ticket. I don't know how they made money on that. On like a lift ticket was like $70, and the train plus a lift ticket was like 83, and it came with like two free alcoholic beverages, and the meals weren't also that bad. Very like it was a steal. But I only went up there, was only in a position to take advantage of it once. Although I think that it was still available the next year. My friend and I found a different mountain. Like we went as much as we love Gore, which is the one that this was serving. We didn't have time to really fully ski it the following year. Here we have the southbound signal bridge at CPC 36. It also uses unilenses, and again, this is still in service today. Here's your Saratoga Springs. This is both Saratoga Springs. Tends to it's things that's, I think there's the Battle of Saratoga is nearby. Plus, has a racetrack. I've been to one of the race courses there. I haven't been to a lot of horse racing events, but I went to that one. I actually won on a $2 bet. I won $48. I was overhearing some grizzled old betting veteran, and I just did what he did, and I won $48. So there you go. But they also gave you a free fleece blanket upon payment of, your admission. So it's a pretty good day. I still use that fleece blanket today. Good blanket. I mean, you get the same thing from bank openings, but I like the Saratoga Springs. You can see they got the horse racing thing on the station there. So the Saratoga North Creek would basically start from that little siding track there, and they'll have a variety of private. If I don't know what CP is up to, but in theory, this is a place that you can store private cars and do other stuff with. On the overhead, you can see. There's your station. It's got one main track for the Adirondack, and it's got two additional station tracks. That shows why they could run a Empire service to here if they wanted to. I think in the 90s or the early 2000s, one of the Empire trains did terminate at Saratoga Springs. This is the formerly famous D&H classic style bracket mast at the end of the siding there to get back on the main line. This was a real loss when it got replaced. I forget exactly when. It would have been after the time I took the ski train. But I'd have to go and figure out when that was exactly. This is CPC 37. And here's a little whatever. I think I used this photo, this signal in a Wikipedia page. If anyone recognizes it. And here we have a dwarf signal for the remaining siding tracks rejoining the main line. So the bracket was located right here at the end of so now there are two masts because it's pointless. The dwarf would have been like right up in there. I'll just include that cute little fir tree. So this is going to be at the next. So the ski train or Saratoga North Creek would exit. Would enter the main line at CPC 37. Well, it would barely go a mile before it exited on its own little track here. I guess that would be at CPC 38. And at this point, we're seeing one of the rear of one of the signals for that. See, I put this. Oh wait. No, you're right. This is the southbound searchlight mast for CPC 37. Getting ahead of myself here. And then this is the northbound mast for CPC 38, where the Saratoga North Creek would diverge. I have some videos. They're pretty good. I have some videos of these on my YouTube channel of coming off the Saratoga North Creek, or is it just one direction or is it both? I think it's going. I think we re-enter the main. Yeah, it's going south, leaving the Saratoga North Creek, where we enter the main on approach medium, and then restricting into that siding at Saratoga Station. All right, let's see what we got here. Any questions so far? Nope. All right, we'll just move on to the next set. We'll be doing a standard set tonight of 40, and then next time I'm back, whenever that is, probably no sooner than 2 weeks. We can do the we'll wrap it up. So I believe this is the southbound signal at CPC 38. I was definitely getting, as the time went on, I was definitely getting the hang of taking photos out of the dome car, which was a bit challenging. A lot of these original file names are using the I still wasn't quite sure what I was doing, so I would name the signal in its cardinal direction on the interlocking, north south as opposed to northbound southbound, etc. At some point soon I established that the other method, and that's what I've been using ever since. So here we have one of the intermediates, 40.7. These unilens searchlights are still in place on this line. I don't know for how much longer, but I definitely have to try to. I'm trying to make. I should probably try to make it a priority to get photos of them, but we'll see. Getting up by this point on their line is pretty difficult. I think this is honestly one of the first intermediates we've actually encountered, because everything's up to this point has almost been back-to-back interlocking. I'm just checking to see how I did these things back in the day. I don't think I've ever. I have done a D&H mainline intermediate before. I did it in on the Sunbury on the NS Sunbury line. And it still had the same sort of unilens signal. Just gotta find it. There it is. Okay, so I do. What is it? D&H main signal in the milepost. Got it. So this would be 40.7 and showing it clear. I'm not sure I am keeping this one. Oh, I did. Oh, it's we're going onto the thruway. Interesting. I have to try to find a mileage for this one. Alright, there it is. So if I can find that intermediate signal, I can go from there. There it is. Oh, that one's actually pretty accessible. I could get up there and get photos of that if I'm ever up there. 40.7, about 41.2. There we go, get rid of all that darkness. I guess they're doing a temporary throughway bridge here to, a temporary bridge on the throughway to replace it. 41.2. 41.2. I was in a trivia team where I should have gotten a throughway related question, but I did not. Oh, damn it. I need to go back and redo one. Some of the stuff isn't updating on the page. Let's redo this one real quick. Alright, and then just give this guy a save. And we're on the next one. At this point, I'm sort of getting the hang. Well, now we actually have intermediates, so I can start banging these things off. This is the 46.9. Now, I guess I definitely missed a few there. Went from the milepost 40 to 46. Or, 46.9. $49.5. Yeah, these are not. I don't think these are 3 mile blocks. Maybe they are. Actually, it would make sense if they were 3-mile blocks. That's NS has been doing that on some of their unused lines, or lesser used lines. Yeah, it's almost certainly a 3-mile block. I'm probably going to cut this, whatever bridge this is. It's soft and I don't really care. Yeah, Hudson Canal. Yeah, I'm going to cut this one. And the main question is... So we're coming up on Glens Falls, New York. There is a station here. This is where that GE plant was that like poisoned the entire Upper Hudson with PCBs. Not 100% sure where that is. Oh, Fort Edward. Sorry, we're not at Glens Falls, but this is the station that effectively serves Glens Falls. So the first bridge is over the Hudson. The other bridge is over the power canal. And I just need to get a quick measurement, milepost measurement to the next interlocking. Which is right there. 0.7 miles, and that is Fort Edward, CPC 56 at milepost. What is this? Uh, 55.2. So again, I'm missing a couple more things, but this is where the I guess there's some lockage in here. Because I see navigational markers. Oh wow, there's a lock, but it looks like it's I can't tell if that's how active. Oh, it's right at the end of the Champlain Canal, where the Champlain Canal curves off. So it's 55.2. And here we have the Fort Edward station. Beautiful little station there. Now, we were definitely tracking our time, making sure we were on. So like I said, we're going to be getting off at Fort Henry. But if the train was going to be late, we were going to have to get off earlier because we, again, needed to make that reverse trip. There's also when you could do that. We had physical Amtrak tickets, not the e-tickets. So if that station changed, it wouldn't really be a problem. Here we have the CP yard here. For whatever reason, we're getting a approach signal at the south end of the yard / siding at CPC 56. I don't think we really had a meet going. Dispatch just might have been holding it for something. Closer view of the signal plus some CP power in the yard. Looks like 7306 and another 73 there. Let's see if I get a better view on them in the next one. I got that and 7305. Wow, sibling units. So if anyone was wondering, the ST, L, and H is the St. Lawrence and Hudson. That's what they were operating their U.S. subsidiary as under a while, and at this point there were still a few painted ST, LH locomotives. I gotta find what the reporting marks are. STLH is the reporting mark. Wholly owned subsidiary, 1995. 2001, it just went. They dissolved in 2001. So it was a short-lived little railroad. STLH. What was that? 7305. We have the exhaust. So you can tell this used to be a 2-track cantilever, but at this point it was just one. I'm not sure the end of the siding would have been. It probably would have been like something like a Saratoga situation where you had a longer running siding track to serve the station. But by this point in time, that siding track had been removed. Last one of the set, we have the actual reasonable photo of the locomotives at the south end of the yard. St. Lawrence announcer number 7306 and CP number 7305. Around the early 2000s, I remember there was an online rail news portal. The guy was based in Scranton, and one of his services was he was tracking the remaining CP D&H painted locomotives and the St. Lawrence and Hudson painted locomotives. TLH 7306. All right, we got that one group done. If anybody has any questions. All right, thanks for enjoying it. We have a pretty good photo of just 7306. Caboose too. Looks like I was gonna say it looks like a Boston and Maine one, but it's not. It's CP rail. Wow, it's an 80s CP rail caboose. Look at that thing. It's something 707. Looks like begins with a 4. Maybe Google can help. There it is. 404, 434. Oh, it's all 434. See, people complain about Google, but, like, it actually works. And it looks like someone got another picture at Fort Edwards. This is taken in 2013. Oh, it's starting to deteriorate. Wow, look at that. I feel like people I mean, the main problem with quote-unquote Google is just that, you know, the internet is now commercial. It's all search engine optimization. If people weren't trying to actually make money on the internet, you could find exactly what you wanted, because people generally want to find things with a non-commercial nature. If what you're searching for doesn't have any commercial potential, you can find it pretty easily. That's pretty good condition for that too. It's such a shame that it looks like it's fucked by 2013. Four, 3, 4, 7, 0, 7. There's same one, just a closer version of it. What I would love, the thing is that, oh, listen, they're both equally interesting. That caboose plus this S St. Lawrence and Hudson. So I can't say like, I got 3 photos of the St. Lawrence and Hudson, but I did get a little bit of that caboose in there. Here we're at the north end of the yard. Is going to be CPC 58. So it looks like the dispatcher got off their butt and actually cleared us at the signal here. That's a plus. So I'm just framing this one. Back on the main line, we're at milepost 68.7 here with a clear signal indication on the Unilens intermediate. Although there's the evidence of an older intermediate signal nearby. Sixty-eight point 68.7. $71.7. There's a Lake Champlain canal lock right there. You can see it. I could probably actually figure out what lock that is. So yeah, well, there's the thing right there. This the canal. That looks like it. Yep, there's the signal right there. That is Champlain Canal lock number 11. One second. yeah, these appear to be every 3 miles. And now we're at the next interlocking, which is going to be CPC 74. This is where you're approaching Whitehall. This is where in and around where the Vermont service trains to what used to be Rutland, and now Burlington will branch off. So there's CPC 77. Sorry, CPC 74 is down here. If I go to the map, there's the abrupt exit of the thing that used to go to Rutland, Vermont, and now it goes up to Burlington. Oh wow! Look, there is an old D&H station sign on that interlocking hut. I counted a couple of these. This is KG. So there you go. That's interesting. And now we're into what is sort of Whitehall Yard thing. What's that called? The Whitehall siding. Probably they do interchange like the Vermont rail system. So this would be likely the so the one next above this would be CPC 77. So this would basically be like CPC 76. I don't know what that would be in the D&H sense, but I can go with that. What the heck? wonder if these are still there. I can go take a look. Let's see. Now it looks like they chopped them down. And here we have the old southbound. This would have been what I would call it's like a double cantilever, because it would have had three signals: main, siding, and yard. But they're all chopped off of it right now. Oh, there's an old Guilford, a Guilford unit in there too. Can't quite read what that other thing is on the SD40. And this is going to be 6001 for the SD40. Yeah, CP at this time really loved running SD40s on this line. And of course, it focused on the wrong thing. Oh wow, another caboose. This would be the old CPC 78, but there's a new one of those. Or CPC 77. And it looks like another one there. There are a few of these around. Not entirely extinct, these older ones, but CP did go through a phase of chopping them down. And here's the new CPC 77 with masts. Yeah, these look quite a bit newer. And if you zoom way in, you can see the branch that goes to the Rutland. So the Ethan Allen service runs up here. Runs to this point. All right, making good time today on to the last section. This is pretty straightforward today, minus me, a few mistakes here and there. Oops, I want to check what I just deleted there. That's the wrong one. Yep, we're looking good. We're coming into Whitehall here. On the last set. I think it's the last set. Yep, looks like it. All right. Let's see, any questions? Yep, no questions. Yeah, like I said, yeah, Google thing. It said, I know that Google has its issues, but if what you're searching for is absolutely no commercial value, and you sort of know how to avoid terms that have commercial value, you can find what you need. Amtrak sold the Grape Dome. It's now it's in service with a variety of short lines. It's been ping-ponging around, but they just sort of got. There was a cost-cutting guy that came in. It was Anderson. Got rid of it. So, no more fun in that regard. Huh. Yeah, this is definitely a more modern style searchlight mast, so that's why those old interlockings are still there. This sort of came in probably the Guilford era. In case anyone hasn't heard me before, sometime in the 80s, the Guilford rail system, D&H went bankrupt, and the Guilford rail system swooped in to manage it for a time. I don't know if they owned it or were just dealing with it. But that's why they made a unified main line from Sunbury, Pennsylvania to Bangor, Maine. Eventually, GRS would cut back its involvement to Mechanicville, New York. So here we are coming into Whitehall. So let's see how we're going to approach this. I think there's a station there. Yeah, it's very... Oh, we were at the station. Okay. That makes sense. Next, here's the short Whitehall Tunnel. So I might need to start. Oh God, I hate having to do this. I hate it. I'm gonna have some weird scenery coming up, and I'm gonna need to try to figure out what its mileage is. Oh, you know what I can do? I can do it right at the Amtrak station. That's on the thing. So we have the Whitehall Tunnel, about 1/10 of a mile north. Whitehall Station is 77.9, so it's effectively going to be about 80.0. Alright, starting about 80 right there. We're going to have to do some weird... here, never mind, we're not there yet. But I'm still going to... Oh, wait, 78... Wait, what? Oh, it's not 80, it's 78.0. Derp. There we go. And here we have 78.7 on the signal. Oh, the 68.7 and the 70.7. Alright, this is what I'm talking about when you start getting into weird scenery like this. So we're past whatever the signal is. I just have to keep counting, and then I have to try to identify where it is. Now, I honestly think it's in this area here. Yeah, I think that the signal is in there. And this is sort of in this S-curve area here. So, this is going to be milepost 78. In fact, I'm very certain it's going to... yeah, we got like an S-curve swoop in the track. I think this is here. Alright, it's going to get harder from here. Like this. Now, I know, I actually know, I do kind of know where that is. It's going to be over in this area. So we're really starting to get into the scenery zone. So this is going to be right in here, which is about milepost 80. If I don't actually know the thing, I can just estimate without having the tenths. So this will be about milepost 80. More estuary views. Yeah, straight scenery shots are always vexing because they don't have mileposts. So here's an interesting thing. On my blog, I did a post about the Connecticut Valley Main Line. Don't know who was operating that. Boston and Maine. Wait, no, that was Guilford. So on this route, I would see remains of old signals, like this one. And I didn't quite get what I was seeing at the time, and now that I see it again, I just realized this about a minute ago. I think that Guilford was doing the same thing that they put on their CT Valley main line. What I call this is like the really poor man's CTC, where you will have an interlocking, and then you will have no all the way to the next. You will have like 10-mile block, and then an approach signal, and then you will have an interlocking again and a siding, south end siding, north end siding. You do it again. I'm almost positive that they did this on this, but I'm not. I'll have to see, but I'm betting that's what I'm seeing here. Let's see. I wonder if that signal is still there. Is that it? There's a bunch of things that could be it. Pretty much anywhere in here. I think this is where we're crossing the river right here. So it's going to be 80.4. What river is that? That is the Polteny River. The border between, we're right on the border. Somehow we are now on the border of New York and Vermont. So, however, so yeah, we've crossed this little. This is actually very interesting. So between Fort Edward and here, we've actually crossed the drainage divide between Lake Champlain and the Hudson. There was actually, you can see why they got a canal in here pretty early. There's really not a lot of bad terrain on it. You know, you can see it's very pretty sedate. You just have to cut through there, and you're right on into the Polteny River. More of a little rock cove here. This is where it's helpful to have mileposts because you don't have to describe things. It doesn't matter in terms of my namespace that this is a cove versus an estuary. I can have a ton of cove photos because as long as they're more than a tenth of a mile apart, I have a unique name for them. And here I have 82.5. Well, that was useful. 82.5. And one last photo for the day, milepost 84.5, whatever this guy, whatever this signal is. You can see that I've switched to the other side of the train to get these, the other side of the dome. This would be 84.5. But if you're wondering what that R is, there was a quirk of Canadian signal rules. In Canada, number plates aren't the thing that tells you an automatic. They put number plates on their interlockings. So in this case, they were putting an R for restricting. I think that, I'm trying to think if there's another thing that would go with that, but they also use offset heads up there to denote that. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to leave this in place. Or if I can find where that little house is for that milepost, I can start there again. Yep, that's, wait, what? Oh, yep, that's the one. Good. Got it. And that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I thought RBMN does have a great dome. I don't think it's it's not Amtrak's. They picked one up from Saratoga North Creek when Saratoga North Creek imploded. So Red and Blue Mountain does have one. You thought you could make a suggestion for them, but no, they are way ahead of you. Yeah, they picked up a Saratoga North Creek one. I think there was one at, there was an odd thing where I went out to, in 2021, I went out to Great Sand Dunes National Park. We stayed in the Colorado town of Alamosa. There was a Iowa Pacific property there that had a lot of equipment. Saratoga North Creek, like I said, was an Iowa Pacific property. And they had a couple of Saratoga North Creek painted cars. They had a lot of Iowa Pacific stuff, and later that next year, a lot of that stuff got sold to Reading and Northern. And like the same cars I had taken photos of in Colorado, they ended up back in PA. So, fun fact. All right, I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Labor Day. Have fun in the sun. Wear sunblock. Drive safe. Have a great day. All right, I'll see you. Oh. Look for me in 2 weeks, but I'm not 100% sure because I will be arriving very late on the 13th. So I do not know if I can do that. So I might have to push it to the weekend of the 28th, which would be the September 27th. So hopefully I can figure this up on the 27th. All right, see ya later. Bye.